Say hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
It's Carson
Bubba.
and Mommy
Um,
for a quick video.
Welcome.
All right, y'all. So I was just driving, and I was thinking about an analogy. I think this is mine coming.
Oh.
We are at Sonic. Hey, is that for me? Big old glass of water. Yep, and a slushie for the little guy. Okay. Yes, that's what he requested. Okay, cool. Thank you. All right, you can keep the change. There you go. Thank you. You too. Bye bye. So let me just kind of tell you guys, not trusting yourself, and here's what not trusting yourself feels like. You know, I was thinking about just this endeavor that we're dealing with right now, and the fact that the ability to hear your own voice and hear God's voice and hear clear guidance in this season of our life is so important. And so what we have to do is not really ask other people what they think about it. Not, hey Tamika, not seek out people to try to convince us that what we're doing is wrong, right? So we have to be very wise. Okay, your slushie's coming, baby. So you have to be very wise in this season of, you got to share this with your sister. So you just drink some. I need to get you a smaller cup. Let me see. I'm gonna put this in a smaller cup, son. So anyway, I was thinking about the fact that a lot of times most of us don't trust ourselves, right? And I was thinking, not trusting yourself and trying to keep up with what everybody else is doing, it reminds me of an analogy. Hey, Kelly. Analogy. We used to have this dog when I was little. I don't know what was wrong with this dog. Dog was kind of crazy. His name was Petey. And Petey, I don't know what made Petey do what he did, but Petey started chasing cars. So every time a car would pass by, Petey would chase the car. You want cherry, baby? Here's a cherry. You want that?
Thank you.
Oh, she forgot to give us napkins. Petey started chasing cars. And eventually, Petey died. You want to know how Petey died? Petey got hit by a car. Because Petey felt like his job was to chase every car that passed us by. He felt like he needed to keep up with each car. And eventually, Petey got hit by a car and Petey died. People who don't trust themselves are like Petey. They see every car passing by and they try to chase each car. It's like trying to keep up with every person that you see, thinking that their way is the best way. So if they're going to go into a certain industry or business, you follow their lead and you go into a certain industry or business. You know?
Cherry, please.
Hmm?
Cherries,
You want more cherries? They're at the bottom of your drink, baby. Mommy's putting your drink in a smaller cup. They start following everything that everybody else is doing. They start trying to keep up. They're watching everybody's social media profiles and saying, oh, I should do that. I should do that. I should do that. I should do that. And they become like Petey. And eventually, they get hit by a car. And it kills them. And not in a literal sense. Not in a real sense. Like not your life. But it kills your destiny. Because you're so occupied. Does that straw work? Or do you need a bigger straw? It works? They get so occupied. Hey, Faith.
It doesn't.
It doesn't work? You need a different straw? Here, use this one. Take that one out. And so for those of you who don't trust yourself and you don't listen to your own instincts, be careful. Let me have this. It's making a mess. Be very careful that you don't be like Petey. You know, I think about in this season of my life, there's a lot of things that people will advise you to do. People will say, I think you should do this, Nicole. Oh my God, you will be so good at this. You should do this. You should do that. You should. And it's okay for the shoulds and coulds and woulds. But those only matter if they confirm what your spirit is already telling you. You know, sometimes people give you a good word. It's very great advice, but it's not in alignment with the season where you are. You know, I had somebody the other day shower me with a lot of great, wonderful wisdom and insight. But I had to realize that that word was not for me in this season because that's not where I'm being driven to put my focus. I had to understand that that is great. I think it's good advice, but it's not my focus for this season. And so I had to eliminate that advice from my agenda for my focus in this season. Doesn't mean it wasn't good. Doesn't mean that they didn't mean well. It just simply meant that it wasn't for me because I'm clear on where it is that I'm supposed to go. And I'm trusting what my internal voice and instinct, which is your spirit, what my spirit is telling me to do, what the spirit is telling me to do, and where I feel God is leading me to go. Many of you, your life, you're exhausted. You're exhausted. You're frustrated. You feel like you're not making the progress you want to make. And it's because you're chasing every car like Petey that's passing you by. And you're trying to figure out, why isn't your life progressing? It's because you're not trusting yourself. You're not listening to what your spirit is telling you to do. And you're not seeking your own path. Guys, there is no way on God's green earth that, just think about it. Think about one of the busiest highways that is in your local community, and a dog trying to keep up with each and every car that passes by. Think about it. That's who we become. We become like those dogs trying to chase each and every car, trying to keep up with each and every car that's passing us by, and we're exhausted, and we're on the brink of death, you know, to the point where and when I say death, I mean giving up on yourself, because you're trying to keep up with all these cars passing by. Everybody's, you know, you look at all these different social media posts, and you know, social media depression is real. It's a real actual clinical, they have it in clinics now, where people have Facebook depression. Can you believe that? Because people are looking at other people on Facebook, and they're listening to their journeys and their stories, and they're seeing how beautiful their family is, and these pretty pictures with them and their friends, and blah, blah, blah. And they're like, oh my God, I want my life to look like that. But what do you have in your hand? What do you have in your hand that you can take advantage of right now in this season? You know, there's one of my favorite scriptures, I think, is 1 Kings 17. The 1 Kings and 2 Kings 17. And there's a story about Elisha. Elijah got really scared because this lady, I think she was like a witch kind of, right? She wanted to kill him because he did something, I can't remember. And so he goes underneath this tree, and he's like, Lord, I just want to die, right? I just want to die. Just take me, Lord. I'm sick of this life. The lady want to kill me. I just want to sit underneath this tree and die. And so God said, go to the brook, and I'm going to send the ravens to feed you, and I want you to drink from the brook. I want you to drink from the well. And I want you to stay there and rest until I tell you to go next, right? So Elisha went to the brook, and a bird fed him. A raven came and fed him, brought him food, brought him meat to eat, and he drank from that well. Well, the brook dried up, which meant that it was God telling him to go ahead and move on. But he said, I want you to go into this town and go to this widow's house, right? So he goes to the widow's house, and I don't know how the connection, I can't remember. But when he gets to the widow's house, she said that she was about to prepare her last meal for her and her son, and they were going to just lay down and die, because basically they didn't have any money. This would be their last meal. They couldn't afford anymore, and they were prepared to eat their last meal and die. He said, I want you to go into your kitchen and grab what you have and bring it to me. She brought oil, she brought flour, she brought, I guess, some water. They were able to make a meal. That meal was like bread, dough, whatever, was able to stretch them, where they were able to eat off of it for days, weeks, months. It was able to lead them into a new season of their life, in essence. But basically, the message in that is, what do you have in your hand? You know, I had a young lady say the other day, she watched me do my book auction. Martina is such a really good student of mine, a coaching student. She's always in my courses. And she said, Coach, I watched you do that auction, and I realized I had all these scarves sitting behind me that I love to crochet, but I've never sold. She said, I'm going to go ahead, and I decided to do an auction with my scarves. She did an auction, and I think she sold 15 scarves. And she called me. She was like, Coach, oh my God, I'm so excited. I did it. And I said, see, you took what you had in your hand and you put it out there. And most of us right now are looking at what everybody else is doing. We're chasing the cars, and we think that we need so much more, when in actuality, you have so much in your hand that you can take, and it'll allow you to go to the next level in your life. What you need, y'all, is already in your hands. It's already in your house. You're already equipped. It's already around you. My cousin, I called her the other day. I'm like, how's it going, cuz? I'm just checking on you. She was like, I'm starting to do meal prep for people. I said, see, I've been telling you about that for about 15 years. You're a great cook. You're very domestic. You're amazing. And so now she's prepping meals for our friends. She was like, Nikki, they love it so much. I'm like, of course they do. You're a great cook. She wanted to be home. She didn't want to be on a job. She wants to be there for her young babies that she has. She took what she had in her hand, and she started her own meal prepping business. So, you know, a lot of us just don't trust ourselves. And that's why we have a world and a generation who is lost, because we're so focused and preoccupied with what we see around us that we forget to see what we lose sight of what we can see in us, in ourselves. And so if you don't want to be like Petey, who gets so focused on the cars and chasing every single car that passes up and down to the point where finally the car kills them, then you need to go ahead and you need to stop chasing all these cars. Stop trying to keep up with what everybody else is doing. Identify what you have in your hand. Seek out what your spirit is telling you to do and do it. You got to do it. I promise you, it's the greatest relief and release and sense of freedom in the world when you no longer try to walk the path that everyone else is walking. When you no longer seek to blend in to what everybody else is doing. And when you no longer want to get validation for what you know God has told you to do. So I always tell people, if you're constantly praying and you feel like God hasn't answered your prayers, go back to the last thing he told you to do. The last thing you knew you should have acted on that you kept suppressing, that you never took action on. Go back to that thing and do it and see how your life begins to turn around. And start taking action on the little slight nudges in your life. You might be driving and you might feel in your spirit to turn right. But no, I go this way all the time. Why should I turn right? This is the way I always go home. No, just turn right. And you'll see that when you turn right, you'll be led on the next instruction. Turn left. You'll be led on the next instruction. As a matter of fact, hop on the highway. And you'll realize you just missed one of the biggest accidents or something major that took place that your life was being prevented from. It doesn't have to be that dramatic. But when you pay attention to the small little nudges and you start following the first direction, you'll realize that it's leading you down a path that is getting you to trust that voice that is within you from your spirit, that is guiding you and telling you, do this, do that, go here, go there, don't go there, don't do this, right? I literally now get nudges about encounters. Like, there's things that I encounter now and I can feel in my spirit, no, that's not for you. And I say, no, I don't think I'm going to do that. No, I don't think that's for me right now. No, I'm not interested. No, thank you. No, I'm not going to do that. Right? So you got to get very clear on the voice that is within you, your spirit. We are so equipped, y'all, for everything we need to go and grow.
Mom,
And I've never been...
turn on the show, please.
Turn on the show. Is it on? Your DVD's on? He's watching his movie, Despicable Me. Let me turn the speakers just to the back of the truck. Okay, cool. Can you hear it? So here's another thing that's been so beautiful for me. Ever since I began to listen to the voice within me, me and my husband are on one accord. Like, we're so in alignment, it's crazy. Not about everything, but it's given me a peace because I don't have any external influences trying to dominate our household. It's me saying, Lord, I surrender to your voice. And I also will open myself up to receive what my husband is hearing. And now we can be on one accord. And it's just kind of removed a lot of conflict because I'm no longer influenced by everybody else. Man, it's a big difference. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. Don't be like Petey chasing every car that runs past you. Don't stop living your life where you don't trust your voice. So trust in the voice and the spirit that is within you and watch your life change. So anywho, bye y'all. So we came to Sonic to get like these half off happy hours. This is a water. Y'all know I love ice, right? This is a water. They charge you 60 cents for water. I said, I can't get no free water. And they said, you only get free water when you buy food. Well, I don't eat Sonic food. We'll get your slushy, but I don't eat your food. I got to pay 60 cents for water? Dang. So anyway, here's a big glass of water, though, right? And I like the ice. So anyway, all right, y'all. Have a great day. I'm just in my inspired moments to share. I have like the worst ice cravings. So see y'all later. Bye. Share this, by the way. You might bless somebody.